Hello, welcome to Moonsong Designs. Thank you for joining me. Today's project is a little gift box using the envelope punch board. I've made a slight adjustment to it in making the belly band slightly wider because it's not really covering all the bits I want covered. But the envelope punch board, as its name suggests, was designed for envelopes. And there is a gift box punch board available. But I've stuck with this because you can make envelopes and the gift boxes using the one board. The decoration is just on the belly band and it's a layered flower. It's the Bloom For You stamp set. Now there is a slight issue with this because the punch board isn't quite long enough. So I'll show you how I get around that. But you start, and this is pool party, you start with a piece of card 8 inches square, and the first punch you make is at 2.5 inches, so you line it up with a 2.5 inch guide, punch and score. And this, does it go off the board? Yes, it does go slightly off the board, but that's not going to matter. Now, to get round the fact that it only goes up to 5 inches and I need 5 3/8 of an inch, I've done just done a little mark 3/8 of an inch on a piece of card. I'm going to hold this onto, I think you can see that. I'm going to hold this onto the 5 inch mark, make sure my card is lined up with the little pen mark that I've made, hold that in place, punch it and score. Now that's the only time you'll need to use that because on the other 3 sides you line up with the score lines that you've already made. So punch and score, slide it along and do the next one. Turn it round. Now the first time I did this, the second score mark I actually did on the trimmer, using the scoring blade on there, and it didn't work terribly well. I mean, it just about managed to do it. Punch and score. Punch and score. Get rid of those bits. And then I'm just going to do the reverse punch on all 4 corners. Just rounds them off neatly. Usually. And last one. And that's all we need the punch board for, but we do need the stylus. So I'm going to cut up. You've got the centre square and then you've got rectangles to the sides of that. So I'm just going to cut up to that first score line on that side and then this side, and that gives us the flaps for actually sticking the box. So now I'm going to fold and burnish. All the way around. That. And I'm going to use fast fuse on this. So I'm going to use it on, oops, close to the fold. I think I'm going to use fast fuse. There we go. And on the other side, the same. Oops, that's not very close. Slight wobble. And then we're going to just construct the box like that. make sure everything's neatly matched, neatly lined up. There we go. And I would just put my hand in, or you could use your scoring tool. I was going to say stylus. You can use your scoring tool just to make sure everything is well stuck. And that's your gift box. Simple. Simple, simple. Right, to make the belly band, we have a strip of card, and this is the full length of an A4 sheet. And I've forgotten where I score it. Just let me grab my notes. That would be helpful. Excuse me. Talk amongst yourselves. Right. The belly band needs scoring. Again, we're doing inches. So, using the scoring tool, we are going to score it at 3 inches. Which is there. 5 inches, and pull this out 8 inches and then 10 inches. So 8 inches and 10, and we can put that to one side. Right, now for the decoration, let's just put that over there for now. We're going to be using the Bloom for You, and on this gift box I used Whisper White cardstock, but sorry, I used Very Vanilla, but for this one we're going to use the Whisper White and the Pool Party ink. So the first thing to do is stamp 2 of these. The first one needs a bit of room around it, and the second one really you only want the circle in the middle, so it doesn't really matter how you do. I haven't really got the circle in the middle, have I? Not very well. We'll stamp that again because that one's not worked very well at all. But first of all, we'll punch out the flower, and I'm just using, this is the 2 3/8 circle punch, and try and scallop circle rather. Now try, and I'm going to cut a bit off here because I can't get quite close enough. It will cut off some of the petal, but that's fine because it's what I'm looking for. So just try and get, when you're punching it, just try and get a sort of even flower. It won't be completely even all the way around, but it'll be relatively close. And then I'm going to just stamp this again. There we go, that's better. And this one I just stamped, whoops. I just stamped this with the circle punch, just the ordinary, which again I can't get close enough. This was just the ordinary circle, 1-inch circle punch. And again, just try and get it evenly spaced around the central element. Like that. So we've got that and we've got that. And then we just need a little piece of Pool Party like that, and we need the 1 1/4 inch scallop. So as you can see, they'll all layer up like that. So we need to do some inking, and I'm going to ink round everything. So I'm going to ink round all of the bits we've punched out, and I ink round the box as well. And the belly band. I didn't really know what sort of box I wanted to do when I got the envelope punch board out. It was a case of doing the box and then deciding what I was going to use to decorate it. And it was one of those things that just kind of grew organically. I thought, well, let's use a bit of that, and what would that look like if I punched that out with that shape punch, and what would happen if I just did such and such. And I think sometimes that's the nicest way of crafting, not planning anything. Mind you, I'm not very good at planning anyway. In fact, I'm very bad at planning. So just inking all the edges, all the folds. Hold up. Easier if I put my hand in there like that, I think, just to give it a bit of support. It's a bit like when you distress furniture, when you've painted your furniture and then you take off some of the paint that you've put on with some sandpaper, and it's the bits that would be naturally get the wear and tear. Oh, that's everything. Have I missed anything? Don't think I have. Right, and the belly band. So we're just going to fold the score lines of the belly band. And just do the same thing with these. There we go. And I haven't put any, I haven't personalised this or anything like that. It's just the design element on this. Now, put a bit of snail, or you could use glue dots, or whatever you like. I've put it on the long piece because I want that to cover the short piece. So actually a bit of glue on, a bit of ink on there, I think. There we go. So close your box and decide whether you want it that way or that way. I don't think it really matters a great deal, but what does matter is that you've got the flaps of your box right. So wrap it round and then just make sure it's straight, and there we go. And there's the belly band. It's quite tight, so it possibly is a little too tight. No, it will slide, but what you don't want is it to just slide off when you don't want it to, and you do want it to. I could have actually let's take that off, shall we, because there's a bit more inking to do. At least it shows it does slide off. What you don't want is for it to slide off when you don't want it to, if you know what I mean. You want it to stay on unless somebody wants to get into the box or what have you. It's a bit more inking. And this was cut. I think I needed to change the blade of my cutter, so it's got slightly raggedy edges. So I have actually changed it. But this, the inking is actually getting rid of that, which is great. So, put that there. Let's see if we can get this back on the box now, without crushing anything. Oops. Is it that way or is it that way? They're the same size, so it won't matter. When I said the belly band slides on and off, there you go, I did mean it. So put the belly band back in the middle, and then all we have to do is build up the decoration. So a couple of dimensionals on there. Pop it into the centre of the circle that's not in the middle. Don't like things not in the middle when they're supposed to be. There. And some more dimensionals on here. I'm going to put 3 because I think it needs the support. There we go. Pop that into the centre of the flower, and then more dimensionals on the back of here. So I'm going to put them, I was going to say in corners, it doesn't have corners, but I'm going to put them on 4 sides. No, I'm not. No, I'm not, because it has to sit on the belly band. Silly me. Take them off. What I now need to do, I'm definitely having a senior moment. Some snail, or in this case the fast fuse, and then plonk it onto the centre, onto the belly band. Pretend you haven't gone and put dimensionals on it by mistake. And there is your gift box. Now this is actually feeling a bit stronger because this is on tighter, and also because it's a little bit wider. And if you can see the difference between the 2 belly bands. It's not much difference, but it does, in terms of the construction of the box, I think it does make quite a difference. So there you've got 2 boxes, one in crumb cake, one in pool party, both using the envelope punch board. Simple projects, but I think they're really, really pretty. I hope you enjoyed the project, and I hope to see you soon. Bye!